Amid the vast silence of Syria's deserts, a colossal structure looms atop a hill. Sednaya Prison. From a distance, it might seem like an ordinary penitentiary, but within its cold, unyielding walls lies a sinister reality. Sednaya is not just a prison, it's a symbol of fear, a place where those who enter are forever changed, if they ever leave at all. Why is Sednaya spoken of in hushed, fearful tones? The story begins with its construction in the 1980s. Initially designed as a high-security prison, Sednaya's role shifted over time as Syria's political landscape grew more complex. It became not just a holding place for criminals, but a destination for anyone who dared to oppose the regime. Life inside Sednaya is known only through the fragmented accounts of the few who survived. These survivors describe their experiences with a haunting clarity. Every new prisoner undergoes what is chillingly referred to as a welcome ritual, a process that often involves days of beatings and torture. For some, this initiation marks the end of their life before they even begin serving their sentence. Prisoners are forbidden from speaking to one another. Silence is an unbreakable rule at Sednaya, and violations lead to collective punishment. These punishments, survivors report, range from days of starvation to being confined in pitch-black solitary cells. What truly sets Sednaya apart, however, is not just the routine nature of these abuses. It is the countless stories of disappeared individuals, those who enter the prison and are never heard from again. Witness accounts suggest that mass executions take place within its walls, and the bodies are disposed of in nearby mass graves. For those who remain alive, survival means enduring unimaginable conditions. One survivor recalled that meals consisted of little more than a few olives or scraps of bread. Access to clean water was virtually non-existent. Guards treated prisoners as less than human, often throwing food on the floor and forcing prisoners to eat like animals. Another witness described the haunting sounds that would echo through the silence of his cell. Screams of agony, the clinking of chains, and the barked orders of guards. In Sednaya, even silence has a terrifying echo. Many of Sednaya's inmates are not ordinary criminals, but political detainees, journalists, lawyers, human rights activists, and ordinary citizens who dared to criticize the regime. Often, these individuals are sent to Sednaya without trial, their sentences a foregone conclusion. Ahmed, a journalist who spent 5 years in Sednaya before his release, described the prison as a reflection of hell. He recalled, "I began to forget my own name." In Sednaya, remembering who you are is a luxury because you are constantly reminded that you are nothing. One of the most disturbing aspects of Sednaya is how little is known about what happens within its walls. Human rights organizations have tried for years to uncover the truth, but the closed nature of the Syrian regime makes it difficult to obtain clear evidence. Reports suggest the existence of secret execution chambers where prisoners are systematically killed, their bodies disposed of without a trace. Amnesty International estimates that between 2011 and 2015, more than 13,000 people were executed at Sednaya. These numbers make Sednaya one of the darkest chapters in modern history. The hill on which Sednaya Prison stands seems almost symbolic, as though chosen to bear witness to the horrors within. Nearby, a monastery overlooks the prison, creating a stark contrast. While the monastery's residents are said to hear the occasional cries from the prison, they remain silent, reluctant to speak of what they know. Today, Sednaya is not just Syria's nightmare. It's a global symbol of repression. Human rights activists and journalists continue to fight to bring its horrors into the light. But Sednaya's walls don't just hold prisoners. They guard its dark secrets. Each year, more of Sednaya's story is revealed, yet understanding the full extent of its atrocities may take decades. What is certain is that Sednaya Prison will be remembered as one of the most chilling places in human history, where dignity was stripped away and hope became a distant memory. Sednaya Prison is not just a building or a prison. It is a silent witness to injustice and oppression. Its stone walls conceal countless tragedies where human dignity was stripped away. On one hand, there is endless silence. On the other, the echoes of screams. This stark contrast alone tells the dark tale of Sednaya. But perhaps the most chilling truth is this: Sednaya is not just a part of the past. It still exists. It is still writing new stories, stories of prisoners whose names are forgotten, whose faces are erased. The thousands who lost their lives behind these walls are not just victims. They are warnings to all of us. How did humanity allow places like Sednaya to exist? How did the world remain so silent? And even after hearing these stories, will this silence continue? Or will Sednaya's suffering remind us of the priceless value of human rights and justice? Every life lost within those walls screams for us to fight for a better world. Silence is complicity, and forgetting is an even greater injustice. Sednaya is not just a place to be left in the past. It is a cautionary tale for the future. Let us not forget that the loss of one life is the loss of all of us. The dark story of Sednaya must remain a scar on humanity's conscience, never to fade away.